Welcome to another Tableau tutorial video. Today we're going to talk about weighted average, and this was something that I looked for, couldn't find, and so I'm putting it together for you guys. So we have our category, subcategory, and product. We have a ranking, could be quality, could be delivery, could be cleanliness, friendliness, whatever we want to rank. And this is the value, could be dollars, could be quantity, could be incidents. This is what we want the weighting to be based on. So the first thing we need to do is total up what the subcategory, we're going to work on the subcategory, what that denominator is, so that we can get a weighting. And so we have a fixed function here. This is category and subcategory because we want it to be based on this lowest level subcategory. We don't want the product. We want it the subcategory, and then just summing up the values. And so we'll bring over the denominator so you can see that. And now you can see this is 115, 165, 55, and so on. The next step is to get the weighting for each product. To do that, we're just going to take the value of that product and divide it by the denominator. Now you may click OK. We're going to bring the product weighting over. So now we have the weighting, and it's at the subcategory level. So each of these will equal 100%. I have the decimals here, but you could have it at 100%. Now we need the adjusted ranking. For this, we're just going to take the rank, multiply it by the product weighting. And we'll pull that over. And we're going to sum this up. And you say, well, wait a minute, that looks screwy. Well, it looks right because if we get for the brush, their ranking is only contributing 1.9 whatever's ranks. So that when we get rid of the product, you'll have the adjusted ranking. And you can see when you compare it to the average ranking, that's what we've got down here is the average rank, that they're different. Now, what happens if we say, I want that ranking over the category and get rid of the subcategory? And now you've got something that doesn't make sense. Come under the denominator, and we'll just adjust that and get rid of that. Apply it, and now you have a ranking that makes a lot more sense. When you're doing this, I would highly recommend you copy this into Excel and just true out your formulas or test them out to make sure they're performing as expected. All right, we're actually going to put that back in. So I want to show you something else. So we've got the subcategory in. Put in the product just for a second. We're going to look at just the garage. And we're going to look at just handheld. We want to get the ranking for screwdrivers. Get rid of product. And wait a minute, it should be a lot closer to the 2, not the 0.78. Well, what's happening is this denominator is not changing, right? The way to get around that is we're going to put the product, we're going to move that to context. Add to context. As you can see from this order of precedence chart, context filters take effect before the fixed function. So when you filter out a product, that product is removed before the fixed function is evaluated. So we're just looking at just the screwdrivers, and then we're doing the sum of the values. So where this usually happens is like this, where you could pick a couple, but also if you wanted to exclude a couple of items. For whatever reason, you wanted to exclude the mirror. You can come up here, oops, come exclude the mirror, and we'll watch what happens to the, and now that is adjusted, the denominator is adjusted appropriately because it is a context. Couple things to note here. One more thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to move this back, remove from context. So many of you might be saying, well, that's a lot of effort to go through because I can just come down here to a quick table calculation, do a percent to total, and I got the same weighting. Well, what happens is when you get rid of the, oh, I was thinking that is all screwed up. That's not matching at all. That's because when you come to the table calculation, you have to come down to compute using, and you're going to say, take into account everything. We just wanted to use the product, and now the percentages match. Great. So now when we want to go to the subcategory and remove the product, we run into an error because the compute using, it doesn't have that product anymore. So that's why we have to go through the fixed function. There you go. And hope you enjoy, and keep watching. Hit subscribe and make sure you have all those notifications turned on. Thanks.